If you're over 60 and finding it harder to remember where you left your keys, what day your appointment was, or even why you walked into a room, please listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you might change how you think about memory forever. Memory loss isn't always about aging. It's about circulation. It's about inflammation. And it's about daily habits you've been told are normal, when in fact, they may be sabotaging your brain from the inside out. For decades, I've worked with seniors who were sharp, funny, independent, and terrified. Terrified they were slipping. But time and time again we found it wasn't Alzheimer's. It wasn't even dementia. It was dehydration. It was low-quality sleep. It was a sugary breakfast or a skipped walk. And most importantly, it was reversible. That's the part no one tells you. Your brain wants to remember. It wants to focus. And it absolutely can, at 70, 80, even 90. But only if you know the tricks that support it. And these tricks aren't complicated. They're simple. So simple, in fact, you'll wonder why you weren't doing them all along. Let's start with this. One of my patients, her name was Carol, called me after her 78th birthday. "Doctor," she said, "I forgot my best friend's name today. I've known her for 50 years. It just vanished." She was scared. But what we uncovered was not cognitive decline. It was a side effect of poor hydration and spiking blood sugar from her morning cereal. We made 3 small changes: more water, more protein, less sugar. Within 2 weeks, she called me laughing. I remembered my friend's name, her birthday, and even what she wore to prom. It wasn't a miracle. It was science, and it was simple. Memory doesn't vanish overnight. It erodes slowly, choice by choice. But here's the beautiful truth. It can come back the same way, with tiny, intentional daily shifts. That's what today's video is all about. So stay with me, because I'm going to walk you through 9 science-backed tricks that seniors all over the country are using to keep their minds razor sharp, their memories intact, and their confidence soaring. And the best part? These tips don't require expensive supplements, brain training apps, or hours of crossword puzzles. They're natural. They're easy. And they just might protect the most precious thing you own, your mind. Are you ready? Because trick 1 starts with what you put in your glass before you even eat breakfast. Let's start with the most overlooked brain booster of them all: water. That's right. Not supplements, not puzzles. Water.
You see, your brain isn't just made of cells. It's made of flow. Blood flow, oxygen flow, electrical flow. And when you're even slightly dehydrated, which most seniors are, you don't just feel tired. Your memory slows, your focus fades, and your ability to retrieve names, dates, or even simple instructions becomes foggy. Here's what's wild. After age 60, your thirst signal weakens. You may not feel thirsty, but your blood is already thickening. That thickened blood clogs tiny vessels, especially the ones feeding your memory centers. The result? That senior moment you thought was just age is really just your brain gasping for circulation. I had a patient named Frank, 82, still driving, still gardening, still sharp, until one week he began forgetting the names of his tools. Simple ones, like rake or hose. His scans didn't show dementia. His labs didn't show disease. But his blood volume was low. He wasn't drinking enough water, and it was literally slowing his brain.
We started a new rule: 1 full glass of water within 20 minutes of waking up. Not coffee, not juice, water. Within a week, Frank's brain lit up again. So if you're watching this, I want you to try this tomorrow. Before breakfast, before coffee, pour a full glass of water. Drink it slowly. Let it flush your system. Let it thin your blood. Let it fuel your brain. It's not just hydration, it's memory insurance. Now that your brain's hydrated, let's talk about breakfast. because what you eat in the first hour of your day can either feed your memory or set it on fire. Here's what I mean. Sugar in the morning spikes insulin. That insulin spike triggers inflammation, and that inflammation targets your blood vessels, especially the fragile ones in your brain. The same vessels responsible for focus, clarity, and recall.
I met a woman named June who came to me complaining of brain fuzz. She was 74, ate healthy bran cereal with raisins and orange juice every morning. Sound familiar? On paper, it looked like a textbook senior breakfast, but it contained more sugar than a can of soda. Her brain wasn't failing. It was inflamed. We made a small shift. We replaced her cereal and juice with eggs, half an avocado, and green tea. That's it. Within 2 weeks, June reported clearer thinking, fewer foggy episodes, and improved energy. Your brain does not want sugar in the morning. It wants stability. It wants protein. It wants healthy fat. Give it those things first thing in the day, and it will reward you with sharper focus, better memory, and calmer mood. If you want a morning ritual that preserves your mind, here's your move. Ditch the sugar, embrace the fat, replace the toast with eggs, replace the muffin with nuts, replace the juice with water or tea. Do this for 2 weeks, and see how different your brain feels by lunchtime. This one might sound too simple, but don't underestimate it. Movement in the morning, especially walking, is one of the most powerful memory tools ever discovered. Why? Because walking increases cerebral blood flow. It oxygenates your brain. It stimulates growth of new neural connections, and it helps flush out inflammatory waste from the brain's glymphatic system, your brain's overnight cleanup crew. Here's what's even more interesting. When you walk within 3 hours of waking, your body syncs its internal clock. That means better sleep, more balanced hormones, and higher memory retention. Your brain becomes more alert, more efficient, and less prone to stress. I worked with a retired teacher named Carl. He was struggling to recall names of former students, something that had never happened before. We added one habit, a 15-minute morning walk. That's it. Within weeks, not only was Carl remembering names again, he felt calmer, slept better, and stopped needing his afternoon nap. The brain doesn't want to sit still. It wants motion, especially in the morning. So tomorrow, lace up your shoes, step outside, even if it's just a walk to the mailbox and back. Your hippocampus, the brain's memory center, will thank you. There's a myth that naps are lazy. Let me tell you, it's not true. In fact, for seniors, the right kind of nap can sharpen your memory, recharge your brain, and even help prevent cognitive decline. The key? It has to be the right nap. Here's what the science says. A 20-minute nap between 1 and 3 p.m. has been shown to improve memory consolidation, focus, and learning ability. But sleep too long, and you enter deeper stages of sleep, waking up groggy, disoriented, and more tired than before. I once had a patient named Dorothy. She was 80, energetic, but complained that she couldn't focus after lunch. She said her mental battery crashed every afternoon. Turns out Dorothy was either skipping her nap completely or falling asleep for over 90 minutes at a time. We made a small shift. She set an alarm for 25 minutes. Same chair, same time each afternoon. No screens, just quiet. Within days, her energy returned. And best of all, she told me, I finally remember where I parked the car. Short naps give your brain just enough rest to reset without slipping into deep sleep. They flush brain waste, improve attention, and boost short-term memory. So if your afternoon feels foggy, try this. Set a timer. Lie down. Breathe deep. 20 minutes. No more. It's not laziness. It's maintenance. If there's one habit that makes a huge difference in memory and mood, it's how you snack. The wrong snacks, like crackers, cookies, or sugary granola bars, spike your blood sugar, inflame your brain, and leave you foggy. The right ones? They calm inflammation, stabilize blood flow, and feed your neurons. Let me give you a perfect example. Nuts, especially walnuts, are packed with omega-3s. They reduce oxidative stress, protect neurons, and promote the release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein that helps your brain grow new connections. One of my patients, Leonard, 76, used to munch on pretzels mid-morning. After our consultation, he swapped them for a small handful of walnuts and blueberries. Just 2 changes. 2 weeks later, he said, "I don't get that afternoon crash anymore, and my mind feels more alert." Memory isn't just about what you do, it's about what you feed. So try this. Keep a small bag of mixed nuts and berries near your recliner or in your car. Snack smart, snack slow. You're not just fighting hunger, you're feeding clarity. You might be wondering, what does breathing have to do with memory? The answer? Everything. Chronic stress shrinks the hippocampus, the very part of your brain responsible for memory. And stress doesn't always look like panic. It often looks like background tension, shallow breathing, or feeling overwhelmed without knowing why. But here's the secret. Your breath is the remote control for your nervous system. When you slow it down, your brain shifts from fight or flight into rest and restore. Blood vessels relax, oxygen flows freely, and memory circuits fire cleanly. There's a simple breathing trick I give all my senior patients. It's called the 4-4-4 breath. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds. Repeat for just 3 minutes. It's not just calming, it's brain medicine. I once worked with a former postal worker named Sam. He was 81, sharp as a tack but struggling with recall during moments of stress, like grocery store trips or phone calls. We practiced breath work for just 5 minutes a day. Within a month, he was recalling names faster, handling social interactions more smoothly, and sleeping more deeply. Breath may be invisible, but its impact on memory is anything but. So here's your challenge. Pick one time today, maybe after lunch or before bed, and do your 4-4-4 breath. Make it a ritual, because calm isn't just peace of mind. It's the foundation of memory. Want to know a trick that Olympic athletes, CEOs, and memory champions all use? It's not a supplement. It's not a pill. It's something you can do lying in bed with your eyes closed. It's called nightly mental replay. Here's how it works. Just before falling asleep, take 60 seconds to mentally walk through your day. Not everything, just the highlights. What you ate, who you talked to, what you learned, what made you laugh. The goal isn't perfection, it's reinforcement. When you recall something from memory on purpose, especially before sleep, it sends a signal to your hippocampus. This is important. Save it. That's how long-term memories are formed. One of my patients, Doreen, used this every night before bed. She was 79, still volunteered at her church, and told me she was starting to forget the names of new members. We built a 60-second nightly recall routine. Within a month, she was remembering names, prayer requests, and even who liked which hymn. She didn't change her diet. She didn't take a pill. She just replayed her day, and her brain did the rest. Think of it like saving a document on your computer. If you don't hit save, it might be gone by morning. But a quick review tells your brain, hey, lock this in. Try it tonight. As you settle into bed, close your eyes and whisper to yourself, what happened today? Then recall it. That's how memories stick. This one may surprise you. Conversations aren't just social. They're neurological exercise. Every time you talk to someone, especially when recalling a shared memory, like a family story, a vacation, or an old joke, you're lighting up your memory circuits. You're stretching your recall muscles. And with each repetition, you reinforce those connections. I had a couple in their 80s, Paul and Martha, who came in for a routine checkup. Martha said Paul had been more forgetful lately. I asked them one question. How often do you tell each other old stories? Turns out they used to reminisce all the time. But lately they'd been watching more TV and talking less. So we gave them homework. Share one memory with each other after dinner, every night for 7 days. They called it their story swap. Not only did Paul start remembering more names and events, he laughed more, felt more confident. He even started journaling again. Why? Because recalling old stories activates the same neural pathways used for short-term memory. Conversation is brain training, not crossword puzzles, not apps, just good, old-fashioned storytelling. So call a friend, talk to your partner, Share that story you've told 100 times, because every time you do, your brain gets better at holding on. Last but not least, the unsung hero of memory, deep, uninterrupted sleep. If you're tossing and turning, waking up groggy, or going to bed with your mind racing, your brain is missing its most important memory-saving tool. That's because while you sleep, your brain performs what's called memory consolidation. It organizes everything from the day, names, faces, facts, tasks, and files it away into long-term storage. No sleep, no filing. It's that simple. But here's what many seniors don't realize. The hour before sleep determines the quality of your night. I once treated a woman named Evelyn, 83. She had stopped remembering her neighbors' names and kept misplacing her keys. But she also had a habit, TV on until midnight, snacking late, scrolling her phone in bed. We created a new bedtime routine. Chamomile tea at 8:30, no screens after 9, a few pages of her favorite book, then lights out by 10. Within 3 weeks, her energy improved, her memory sharpened, and her confidence returned. Your brain can't heal in chaos. It needs rhythm, routine, and a calm signal that says, it's time to rest. So tonight, try this. Dim the lights early, turn off the noise, sip something warm, and give your brain the gift of deep, uninterrupted restoration. You won't just wake up feeling better. You'll remember more, too. You now know the truth. Memory isn't something that fades. It's something that can be fed, watered, exercised, and protected. And it starts with what you choose to do before breakfast, how you walk, what you snack on, when you breathe, and how you tell your story. But here's the part no one tells you. Your brain doesn't just remember facts. It remembers identity. It remembers laughter. It remembers who you were when you danced at your wedding, when you held your grandchild for the first time, when you solved a problem no one else could. And those parts of you, they don't disappear with age. They dim when the brain is deprived, but they return when the brain is loved. So ask yourself this. What if memory loss isn't inevitable? What if it's a warning? A whisper from the body saying, please, support me. Because the brain doesn't want to give up your stories. It wants to preserve them, every single one. And the next time you misplace your keys or forget a name, don't panic. Instead, pause, breathe, drink some water, take a walk, tell someone a story. Because you're not just training your brain to remember things, you're training it to remember you. Now, if that sparked something inside you, wait until you hear what just one bite of a certain brain snack can do for memory recall in under 72 hours. It's sitting in your kitchen right now, and most people have no idea how powerful it actually is. Let me show you exactly how it works in the next video.